How did it get worse? Most of us, I think the majority opinion was, oh man, Zanka gonna die next week. Might have even died this week, the life leaving his eyes. And to be fair, there was some decent arguments as to why Zanka would live. One, he should still have his protective ward, right? He didn't use his up. Okay. I'm thinking in my head, yeah, but all Jabber needs to do is just do another hit and he'd die there. But hey, you know what? That's a reasonable thing. Oh, people are saying we're going to get a backstory next week. If we get a backstory next week, I mean, that surely means, the only time backstory equals death is when you get backstory and then death. You don't get seemingly death and backstory. So that should indicate that he pulls through. Reasonable arguments. But they wanted me to be scared last week, and I was scared last week. He had me concerned. So you would think to yourself, okay, surely, if you're going to spend like 18 minutes of an episode after killing him, that means we surely will leave this episode with a badass moment. And exactly what you see, him getting up, come here, little bitch. Like, that's the energy he gave off. And what do these sick puppies do? That didn't happen at all. That was all in his noggin. He was tripping out on acid, bro. I have said it before, and I'm going to keep fucking saying it. Jabber is one of the most terrifying characters I've seen all year. And I think anyone who unironically thinks he doesn't pose a threat to the cast as a whole is kidding themselves. This man seriously laid down next to him like he was a drunk Sally on a date and said, yeah, let me enjoy the trip with you, and giggled out of his mind. Now, if it was just that, I wouldn't be saying this. The issue stems from the fact that I somehow leave this episode more convinced Zanka's dying than I did last week. Because prior to him dragging him away, saying, okay, I've had my fun with you, now you die, we see human body parts cut up and attached to a thing. And I have to imagine, unless this is just a brilliant bait and switch, the thing that we were standing at is where Zanka's going to be fed to. Now, once again, I'm going to highlight, it is not guaranteed he's going to die. But the fact that 2 weeks in a row you can continuously escalate a character that has become quite loved in the Gachiakuta community and think that, oh yeah, he ain't making it out alive. The only way it could be worse is if for the rest of the goddamn season, they keep reminding us like, okay, he's finally fighting and oh, now he lost a leg. You know, just continue it. My heart, bro, it aches. Like, an amazing episode, but my mind is blown in all the most terrifyingly bullshit ways. Now, as for the backstory, though, really like it, and it actually reveals a pretty tragic revelation about Zanka as a character. So, if we remember when Rudo had the plunger and he flung shit in Zanka, he freaked out, right? It was a really funny moment because who wants to be covered in who knows what shit? I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm going to say I'm 100% sure. It's supposed to be a double whammy. It's obviously for the fun shock factor, but given what happens around the midpoint of this backstory where he's freaking out, I'm shit, I'm shit, I'm shit, I think that's why the plunger got to him as much as it did. Because someone who everyone looked at as this natural-born prodigy doesn't have to work, he's just talented. Turns out, no, he was working hard in the shadows. People just thought, you know, from their point of view, it doesn't look like a guy who's working hard because he's working out in the woods. He's studying by himself. There's no indication he's trying. He just shows up and does good. Insert this girl who comes in and immediately steals the spotlight, and he's freaking out like, why did I work so hard? Blah, blah, blah. And it gets to a point where he literally crawls into a goddamn hole. Our boy comes in and he's like, bro, what are you doing in the hole, you weirdo? And yeah, he just feels like shit. And I think that's what makes the revelation of what happened with Rudo so interesting, because it doesn't change the fact that it's still just a funny scene, but if you actually look at how he views himself nothing but shit, being thrown like shit on yourself, yeah, it's going to make him freak out and, you know, remind him of something he's probably tried to bury deep inside. Such interesting writing and so much deeper than you ever think. Like, they didn't need to tie it together to them more than just a funny Rudo scene, but yeah, it kind of blew my mind when I realized. Just great. It's like, I figured at first this whole episode was just gonna be backstory, and it was gonna piss people off because everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, we waited 7 days and we still don't know his fate. But then when you see him get up, I'm thinking, okay, good backstory. Hell, the backstory may not be for everyone, the people who are just showing up for the fights, but hey, at least we got the badass aura farming moment at the end, and it's all in his head. It's all in his head. I hope they never kill Jabber. I hope Jabber lasts until the final fucking episode and chapter of this series. He infuriates me, he scares me, but I don't think there's a more frightening character than him. The way he can drug himself or others up, he's literally a Batman villain who just has fun. And I think it's the characters that have fun. They're not trying to do evil stuff because they are evil in the traditional, like, I want to hurt people because, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this morally corrupt justice in my head. No, this is just a lunatic who, there's no therapy for people like this. Like, you gotta kill them. But boy, golly, do they make for some of the most entertaining villains known to man. This was a phenomenal episode. And while I'm still gonna say, sure, logically, he can still be safe. Someone could rescue him as he's being dragged off. Maybe he snaps too. But you can't deny the fear the average viewer is gonna have leaving 2 episodes in a row, Zanka left for dead. That's wild. 10 out of 10, but what the thoughts down below. Drop a like, share, support on this video, subscribe if you happen to be new around your patrons where you can catch those full live reactions, all this and more, and I also like to give video shoutouts to my patrons. Alright, so today we got MMK, AJ Shiesty, Dong Noon, Tamara Channel, Chris, AJ, Plays World, Rajel Pelgengi, and we also have Dredo, so I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, you all have a good one.